So this is the little workshop we have out behind the house, 1,000 square feet. Middle of nowhere. We have a little lathe, South Bend, 13 by 30. Picked that up about 15 years ago. Of course, we have our little milling machine, CNC conversion with servo motors. Little horizontal bandsaw for cutting stock. Of course, the computer which runs the CNC machine. A little bead blaster. Drill press, monster Bridgeport CNC machine, little cabinet here where we hide stuff, mostly car parts and whatnot, but handy tool is our ESAB 7/8 capacity plasma cutter. Parts cleaning sink, Miller Synchrowave 220 amp TIG and arc machine. It's badged as a Canox, but it's actually a Miller. Small Miller MIG welder, a 171 or 172 rather. Various other engine stands, crane, fabrication table on casters. Of course, the beams can be set to any width, and of course all parts can be clamped to it, a nice flat surface, and welded up. Brown & Boggs 36-inch finger brake, of course for bending sheet metal. You can see the segments that come out that can adjust the width of the bend. Of course, to go with the bending brakes, a small sheet metal shear. Current project in the shop is the rebuild of the twin cam 16 valve Oldsmobile motor for my Fiero, which has had we can get around it here. Had a GM Performance Parts supercharger put on it. This runs a 5-speed get drag transmission, and it's sitting on its cradle, ready to go back in the car. We have a metal cutting Rockwell bandsaw, which has a gearbox inside that brings the blade speed down considerably, enough to cut slow enough to cut steel and stainless steel, and of course aluminum, no problem whatsoever. One of the projects we've been working on in the shop here has been our oven for powder coating. And this has an electronic control, recirculating fan, light of course inside, and an electronic control for maintaining temperature. This is about 30 inches by 30 inches by about 6 feet. See, here's the special latches that I made for this, and gives you an idea of the size inside. 3 elements out of a home oven, 1 on each wall, and about 6 feet high. So you can hang just about anything you need in there, like a rear axle or a front axle, whatever, for powder coating. Standard chop saw. Arbor press, homemade disc sander, homemade belt sander, homemade 12-ton press, and another workbench, and basically that's about it. We have a 5 horsepower compressor upstairs. We have another area upstairs. And of course a set of stairs that are on a pivot that we can take down to gain access to the upstairs. We'll do that here. There's a cable that runs along through pulleys to a set of weights in the corner of the workshop that, when the stairs are dropped, are counterbalanced. And of course gives us access to the upstairs. That's about it. This is our little playroom. One last scan. Of course, we're running out of space. That's the big problem.